Howdy y'all, I'm Anna with Always Right, and welcome back to the 12 Days of Christmas. Today's video is going to be 24 books that I am hoping and excited to read in 2024. Now, if you saw my Barnes & Noble book haul, you may think, oh, I've seen this one. No, this one's different. I don't have just my Barnes & Noble book haul books. I have a lot of books that I've purchased, like, in my travels, you know, well, it's always a travel for me to go to a bookstore, let's be honest. These are books that I've been kind of collecting, books that I've been hearing about, and books I really, really want to read. Now you may be wondering, what on earth are these? Are these your books? Are you spoiling the video for us? No, that's not about that. These are the books that I read last year. This is not like all the books. These are just the books that I own, that I read. So yeah, these are getting moved. Our new collection of 24 books will be going here with my little food dog babies that I've had since I think I was 10 or 12. I love them. If you can't tell, this is my dresser. Welcome to my bedroom. And I always have like a row of books right here on my dresser that I pull from, or that I read from, or I pick at, you know, or blah, blah, blah. So this is where our 24 books are gonna go for 2024. Without further ado, let's get into it. So these books are not in any particular order. They've been shuffled as much as a deck of cards in Vegas. So without further ado, let's start out strong with Andrea Stewart's The Bone Shard Daughter. Now for these books, I'm going to try to give you like the most minimal summary that I can so that this is not an hour-long video. So the Bone Shard Daughter basically has bone magic, and the daughter of the Bone Shard Emperor has lost her memory, so she's got to work on that so that she can become the next ruler. Next up is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. This is a superhero book if we followed the villain, because we do follow the villain in this one. And we have Piranesi by Susanna Clark. This book is like, what if your house was a maze? Yes! Then we have A Natural Histories of Dragons, a memoir by Lady Trent by Mary Brennan. This is a novel that's written in the style of Jane Austen about dragons. Next up is This Is How You Lose the Time War. Weird Entities Fall in Love. Very nice short book. Oh, did not break it. Next is Kaiju Preservation Society by John Scalzi. This is a story of what if portals opened up where like monsters exist in a different dimension, and the good guys aren't the only ones that discover that. Next we have a naked copy of Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. This is a story of what if you got married to like a rich dude and you find stuff out about his dead wife. Oh, next up is Margaret Atwood's Oryx and Crake. Hera has licked this one. Thank you, Hera. This is a story of what if humans evolved to be super docile, and you're one of the few that was bred to be the protector of the docile humans. Next is The Tethered Mage. This is a fantasy book that doesn't fit into a what if situation easily. Basically, there's magicians, they have to be tethered, and someone gets tethered that's not supposed to be, and it's the beginning of a trilogy. Next is How to Be, Life Lessons from the Early Greeks by Adam Nicholson. This is a nonfiction that like looks at how the Greeks used to live and imparts some knowledge a bit about, you know, how you can simplify your life. Probably 100% bet that. Next is Big Swiss. It's a story about a lady who's a transcriptionist, and not just for anyone, but for like a sex coach. And she is out in the wilds called the grocery store, and here's someone that she recognizes and falls in love with, one of her employer's clients. And he's married. So, next up is The Hunger of the Gods by John Gwynne. This is the second in a series. He is coming out with the third one this year. I think it's supposed to be like this October. I'm super excited about it, so that's why we're reading it. It's a fantasy novel I guess the what if situation is, what if the dead, angry, human-eating god started to come back to life? Next is Witch of Wild Things by Raquel Vasquez Gilliland. This is a cute little recent release that basically follows this witch who her entire family is cursed and they have powers. She can talk to plants, and sometimes when she cries, she sees her dead older sister. Fun! And there's some romance too. Next up is The Warden by Daniel M. Ford. This is a fantasy novel. It basically follows this woman who decides to become a necromancer because she wants an easy, kind of cushy life, and then she gets sent out into the wild, and it's not an easy, cushy life. Next up is Kate Atkins' Normal Rules Don't Apply Stories. This is a collection of, I believe, 11 short stories that are very British and very fun and quirky. Next up is Jade Song's Chlorine. This is a little literary baby. What if one of the top high school swimmers at your school decided that she was going to be a mermaid and like eat people? Next up is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is a what if you were rich and you know you had a lot of husbands kind of a book. JK, I don't actually know what it is. I just know people absolutely love it, so we're gonna try it. Next up is Psyche and Eros by Luna McNamara. It's a retelling of Psyche and Eros. World breaking, right? World breaking. Oh, I don't have the piece of paper. I tripped on my own foot. Next up is Ledge by Stacey McEwen. It's a kind of sci-fi fantasy romance kind of book, I think. The easiest way to describe this really pretty, like, foiled book is, what if you lived in, like, a dystopian world and your civilization's on the edge of a cliff and they make sacrifices occasionally and you become one of those. I mean the sacrifice, not the civilization. Next up is Daughter by Claudia Day. This is a cute little literary novel that explores a daughter's relationship with her father because he had an affair and he confided in her and her life just blows up. Next up is God Killer by Hannah Kaner. Yeah, I did actually end up getting like the UK version before Book Depository closed. This is like a new adult or a YA fantasy series that is set in a world where the gods are real and you can kill them. God Killer. Oh, and there's kind of like some found family, I guess, maybe. Next up is Rebecca Roan Horse's Black Sun. This is kind of like a South American inspired novel. It sounds very interesting. Debut, first in a series. Everyone loved it, so you should obviously know what it's about. Next up is, I don't actually have the physical book, Salt and Broom by Shannon Lynn Fisher. It's a witchy retelling of Jane Eyre. Next up is The Crane Husband by Kelly Barnhill. This is a little literary baby that examines the type of abuse in relationships, and also what if your mom brought home like an actual crane and said, "This is my husband." Next is A.K. Mulford, A River of Golden Bones. This is like a new adult romantasy novel, and it's got ombre and animals on the cover, so I like it. It's basically a spunky fantasy stuff, like the main characters are wolves, but they're like people, but they're wolves. And there's court drama, and there's like murders and bad marriages, so yay. Lastly, we have A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon. It's the prequel to her other big book, The Priory of the Orange Tree. Big book. It's basically a fantasy world where dragons exist in the western part of the world and the eastern part. And yeah, it's like westernized dragons in the west, easternized dragons in the east. Who would have thought the westernized ones want to eat everyone and the easternized ones like want to fight the westernized one and like keep people safe because they're friends and stuff. So that's the story. Let me add my last little one, the ebook here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So I can't count. It's actually 26 books. But welcome. These are the 26 books I am very excited to read this year. I feel like it's a pretty good mix. There's a few genres that are missing. I don't have like any mysteries in it as far as I know. I'm excited. Let me know down in the comment section below which one I should read first. So Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. This has been a lot of fun, and I'm really glad that I was able to get all of this organized. It's a weight off my shoulders. As always, let's get writing.